All right, what's going on, guys? Spencer Clays here. We got Juci in the house. Juci's one of the guys inside, the home service mastermind, exterior pro user.
That's right.
Welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Good to be here.
All right, so Juci, I want to have you on the podcast. We're down here in a lovely little park, just being those guys. But
Just golden hour.
yeah, it's we got some good lights, so hopefully keep this relatively short, but we'll see. But anyways, I want you to explain to people watching about who are looking to get a home service, like what kind of got you in. Like, I know you have a really cool story about you're still working part-time and you got a good perspective. So why don't you tell us how you got started and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, well, it started with me trying various business ventures. I won't get into that now, but all the while I saw what Spencer here was doing with his home service business, roof and gutter cleaning. I read the book and thought, you know what, this is a very straightforward blueprint. It's a tried and tested model. You get people to agree to your offer, and then you go perform a service for them. And it's something I think that everybody can understand. You don't have to do a whole lot of finagling, like who's my customer avatar. And I was coming at it after working in the white collar world as a translator, and compared to finding people who have this really niche need for translation. It's just a cinch to find demand for this type of work, and that makes everything else easier. And then you can focus on, doing the work better and building your systems and building that way. So my motivation was that I had some credit card debt, and I wasn't really happy with the work that I was doing, the freelance work. So I decided to give a try to what Spencer was already doing. It's always good to see somebody else doing something, and then you're like, you know what? You just put one foot in front of the other and see how it goes. And I started at absolutely zero, like no marketing experience, no tools, and I just went out and bought the absolute basic tools: underbrush, gutter scoop, bucket, safety harness, and within like 6 weeks I was doing like $8,000 a month. So that was a huge sign of success for me, that I was on the right track, and I was like just very pleased with that. So
nice. I think you got up to you said you got up to around like 9,500 per month. It was like the peak, but yeah, 8K really quickly.
It's a little bit choppy, and I literally just started, so I don't have a ton of data, but I took a trip, came back to the States in December, and I had a bunch of jobs in November, but that was like the ramp up. So the period where I was fully booked, and I was fully booked within like 4 weeks of starting. So I did like 3 weeks of work in December and got about 9,000 in roof and gutter work off the back of that. So I was like, if you extrapolate that to a month, then you're making 12,000 a month. And that's totally doable as a solo guy. And you can top out at that and do pretty well.
Yeah, because we were talking before about potentially hiring some guys, getting a little bit off of the the work yourself. And I feel like that too. Around $10,000 is pretty much like anybody can do that. You don't need that many jobs. But then after that, scaling does become like you got to have more people.
Absolutely.
We got me and like 4 or 5 other guys, and I feel like that's a pretty good number now. But obviously it takes a bit to get to there. But so what would you say? And so roof and gutters is kind of your main thing now. But I know you do like a bunch of other stuff. You do like handyman work as well. But what would you say to anyone who's like, because I'll get this question a lot, like, oh, should I do roof and gutters too, or should I do like just windows, or what service do you recommend, or just really like what do you like to do, or where the demand is?
I'll share my experience from doing this, and I've done other stuff besides roof and gutter work. First thing you got to consider is, where are you? Are you in the United States? Where are you in the United States? Are you even in the United States? What does your local market look like? And so before you choose a niche and you decide, I'm going to do this, take a look at the market. I'd say that's a good first step. You can research that, like where the demand is for your niche, by going on Craigslist, see what people are selling and see what people are offering and like where's the difference between that. Here in Vancouver, there's like junk removal, plumber, junk removal. So some things are more saturated than others. I'm not bashing junk removal. Here in Western Washington, we kind of have this like unique climate condition that is just super rainy and moist and like gray half the year. So moss thrives in that, and we can make a living cleaning moss off of roofs, which is great. If you're in Arizona, that's not going to be feasible. So,
I heard someone talking about like sales in the context of like, oh, well, you're trying to sell ice to Eskimos, and like the salesman responding is like, no, I would want to sell like blankets and like heating to Eskimos. Like you got to sell like exactly what people are using. Like we have people in like, Home Service Mastermind that do, windows and solar because they are in Arizona and they can, it literally just depends on where you're at. And so, I mean, obviously we like it out here. We can do whatever makes money, but so roof and gutters is kind of where you kind of ended up. And then, so tell us a little bit more about like leads and stuff for people who are just getting started. Because you also work part-time too. So how has been that like working, and also like, how have you been able to get leads? Like talk to someone who's like, just like maybe working and trying to make some extra money, or even just test the water and then go full-time into their own business.
Yeah. If you are just starting out, the hardest thing is definitely going to be getting leads. It's like, how do you even start with that? I actually have one more thing to say about the niche selection, which in my case, I decided to start out as a handyman, which by definition is like jack of all trades and just do everything that comes your way. And that was useful for me to like experience different types of work and see, okay, where's the demand?
Yeah, where's the demand?
Do I enjoy this type of work, that type of work? How difficult is it? What's the like profitability? And I found that being a jack of all trades is not, it's not
master of none, though.
Yeah, it's not a good long-term strategy because you can't specialize, and you can't like get like just boom, boom, boom fast at the thing that you're good at. But it gave me that perspective that allowed me to say, all right, you know what? Of all the stuff that I'm doing right now, roof and gutter is the most straightforward. It's the most lucrative, and it also plays into the ability to scale, which I can talk about later. But if you are just getting started, getting leads is the most difficult thing. And me having no concept of advertising, demand generation, like targeting, anything like that. Spencer here, you got a ton of good resources in your courses that are included they're for free in the Home Service Mastermind, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you join, we got a bunch. I mean, I have a bunch. I try and include as much on YouTube as possible for people who want to like just get started. Hey, get your own leads, and then obviously, we have the community where you can, ask any questions. We got calls.
Yeah, this guy sends out free training materials in his email, so that's valuable. But like even lower tech than that, like troglodyte level, I went out and printed 100 yard signs, and you will not believe how those things popped off.
Yeah.
So I set out a bunch of those in December, 100 yard signs. Like don't think you're going to stick 10 in the ground and that you're going to be booked. You got to like get volume, like Alex Hormozy says, it's just volume. 100 of those bad boys. And the key, I think, was that each of them had a really solid offer. So I had two offers. One was gutter cleaning, which was $99. It just said $99 gutter cleaning, and then phone number, and also my brand. And that was it. It doesn't need to be complicated, but I think it really helps if people know what's the price, what do they get, and who do they call. And the other was roof cleaning. So gutter cleaning is like a great lead magnet, I guess you'd say. It like gets people in the door, and then they say, also there's a lot of moss on the roof, and we're looking at that, and so you can kind of upsell them. But
a lot of people don't really know about like roof cleaning, or I'll say like soft washing, and people are like, I don't know what that is, but I know I need my gutters cleaned, and so like that's a very easy, like you can upsell from there. And if you want to do windows or solar panel cleaning, like you can kind of expand out, or even Christmas lights. I know you didn't really get into lights, but
I kind of missed the boat on that this year.
Yeah, we'll get you on it this year though. It's like it's pretty good. But so I know you mentioned, we talked before, like you're coming at it kind of from like the white collar perspective. So how is that versus like someone who, because me and like some of the other guys, we're kind of used to like working these darn mosquitoes. But I know you were talking about the white collar viewpoint. So tell us about that. Like how you like going from working behind a desk now you're on a ladder, you're on a roof. Like how was that kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to like charge this with some sort of class discussion or anything. And it's
we can get into anything, bro.
I think there's a ton of people out there who are rotting behind a desk in their 9 to 5, and they have no idea that they can go from making like 65K to 100, 110, 120K, doing like really simple work. And it, like, granted, it's physically strenuous. It's difficult.
Yeah.
You are out there in the sun, in the rain, in the cold, and for some that may be a positive. Like for me, I like getting out in the field.
Yeah.
But like, okay, coming at it from a white collar perspective, in terms of demand generation and like customer avatar, as I touched on earlier, it's like bone simple compared to like, oh, we're targeting, like mid to scaling SaaS businesses in the food delivery area, and like, fuck all that noise, honestly.
Yeah.
It just got so tiresome for me after a while, and I think there's ultimately a fusion between working with your body and working with your mind. And if you're too far on one side or the other side, then you should get closer to the middle. And what I mean by that is like, if you're sitting at a desk 24/7, then you're just kind of rotting and you don't feel fulfilled and like connected with reality. Mm-hmm. And if you are just on the tools 24/7, then you need to find time to step back and think like, how can I work more with my mind? And I think you've hit a good balance with that. Like you got, you're disseminating knowledge and like spreading the word with people, and you got books and everything, but you also do jobs yourself. So.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the thing that I kind of love about the business too, is like I still try and do like 1 to 2 jobs a week, just to honestly for my own sanity, keep the calluses on the hands so no one can say soft hands, got to earn the Carhartt stripes, but yeah, no, also totally, like I can write books, make videos, we also have like the software that we're scaling up, getting people, like if you guys need a website or any like SEO work, we got a team doing that. But so yeah, it's a good balance, and that's kind of like the whole message is like wherever you're at, like even if you're working, 9 to 5 or part-time, like you can do a couple. I know we have one guy in the group, he still works 9 to 5, and he books all his jobs on the weekends. He just does like 5 jobs on the weekends, makes an extra, $2,000 a weekend. And
that's what I'm saying. Like you can earn a really high hourly rate doing this, and that for me was such a windfall. Like you can do so much with that. It just gives you freedom, basically.
And the confidence. Like tell us about like what was your first experience? I know my first experience I've told on the show, like of door to door, like think of like oh shoot, I have a bill that comes up, like my wife needs a root canal, I need to go make money now, and like a job doesn't really give you that, like, hey, I need $500 this week. Like how is that for you? Like, oh, I can literally just go out and knock doors and get that money today. Like how was that experience for you, your first door to door or whatnot?
Door knocking, I think most people would agree it's a little bit,
it's a grind,
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it sucks, but
and if you are an established business owner, then your time is probably better spent elsewhere. On the other hand, if you are just starting out, then
your time isn't really worth much on paper.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And you got to convert that time into money by working. So, when did I first door knock? This was before I relocated to Vancouver. I was in my hometown, and I went out and knocked like 20 doors in a day, and didn't book a single job.
Yeah.
Which like
happens to me all the time.
Yeah, you just gotta power through that, and it's like how Alex Hormozy says, there's volume. Count things in hundreds, not in ones.
Yeah.
So, but then like 6 weeks later, of course, after I had relocated, I got multiple people calling me, saying, "Hey, can you do this? Can you do that?" So that should give you an idea of like the return is not always instant. If you need an instant return, I don't know, what would you say? Like Facebook ads, door knocking?
I mean, if I need to make money like today, I would just like hit the pavement, shoot for like as many doors as possible, and try and like book a job that day.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously I love Facebook ads just for the scalability, because I can put like just the knowledge of like learning like you can learn. There's a thing too, like you can learn ads so quick. We're gonna talk, we'll talk about this later. Obviously in the group we go into it, but like I have ads right now that I put together. It took me like 10-20 minutes to edit a video together, put the copy down, like, hey, you need your roof cleaned, like, do you have this on your roof? And boom, like I was showing you, we've already gotten like 7 or 8 messages for a little bit higher than normal, like $9 each, $8 $8 to $9 each. But that's 7 people that like are for a high ticket service. We just did one the other day for 800. Today was another 800 that Jonah did, and another 400. Like,
I'm
so
curious,
these are
how
bigger
do you get to
jobs.
800 on a job.
Like that was a roof and a pressure wash, and then the 800 one that I did was, the roof was pretty big. He wanted the soft wash. He wanted like the outside of the gutters. I mean, shoot, last week we had, like that $1,800 one was like you saw the debris and stuff. So I mean, you can really like, obviously even with the $299 offer, like as long as you're honest about that, like I love like having a really low ticket offer, because we will still do plenty of $299s. Like if you talk to a customer like, hey, yeah, we could do the $299. Obviously, you guys could use a soft wash as well, which would be an extra $200 to $300. And then, a lot of times, like you see people are more than willing. There's a certain percentage of people, Hormozy will talk about this all the time. You need to have a certain percentage of people that you can serve at a higher level, that they will just buy the nicest thing. I remember I heard a story on another podcast. It was like, some guy was like, oh, which Apple computer should I buy? He's like, I don't know. I just buy the most expensive one. Just like, he doesn't even look at it. He just buys the most expensive Mac computer. That's just how he thinks.
Because to some people, like, money has no meaning. They just they literally have so much money.
You got to realize that. Like, we're knocking, or we're doing jobs. People have $4 million houses. You don't think they have $400, $500 for a roof cleaning?
At this ticket price, it's basically an impulse purchase for most homeowners. Which is why interruption marketing works so well. You just, what's $300 for a roof cleaning? My wife's been bugging me about that all year. So just get it done. Also, this is a total non sequitur, but I found that being really focusing on professionalism is so important in our trade, and when people trust you and they like your service, that's what really opens up the floodgates of, we want to work with you. What else do you do? How can I help you? How can I, like, when somebody finds a contractor they can rely on, it's like so valuable, because a lot of guys just freaking disappear.
Yeah, the bar is really low to do businesses like this. But yeah, like the second, like I kind of just noticed, I don't know why, I just like this triggered, I noticed it. But like every job, every quote I do, I almost never really start like, oh yes, your roof will be this much. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, how was your day? Like, oh, like I see you got this car. Like, that's a cool car. Or I saw you had a Navy bumper sticker. Like, were you in the Navy? So was I. And like, you just talk the shit with the customer, and just like, it's just a natural thing. Like, didn't really notice how I was doing it. And then that's how once you build that trust and connection, and like you said, professionalism, people just like, it's a people's game at the end of the day.
It really is.
So,
and everybody's going to have their own approach to that. But it is a little bit, it's kind of a double-edged sword, like how low the bar is. Crackhead until proven otherwise, and then when you're not, it's like oh my god, this guy's amazing.
This guy's knocking on my door. He's like got a stained shirt, and he's like tweaking about cleaning my gutters. Like, I don't know, but
but if you like, and that's the thing, if you roll up in the wrapped van and you got the uniform and like the branded everything, then immediately that just flips so many switches in people's brains, and they're like willing to pay you 3 times as much. Price is not the deciding factor.
You show them your website. You got tons of reviews. Cause I know we got the website up for you. Like that was just like, now it's just people can see, and you can start ranking and such too. And like Google is huge. Like if you guys haven't gotten your Google My Business up, and the website where people, I mean, especially like, our major clients like boomers, they love like the website. They love to just look at that. Facebook a little bit for sure, but I mean that's the thing.
Some people aren't on Facebook.
Exactly.
Website and Google helps.
And that's where all angles, like yard signs, website, Facebook, all these different. There's so many different people that you don't really know which bait is going to work for a certain type of customer. It's kind of like fishing,
Yeah. Well, and you your methodology is try multiple different ad formats and then see
Yeah.
which one works. And I think that's a great example of like evolution. Just like you got to cast aside your assumptions about, you know, what is going to speak to people, like what market is going to work, what niche is going to work. Let the market speak. You know, don't go in with like really narrow-minded preconceived notions about what you're going to do or what's going to work. Just try lots of different things at the start, and then put more energy into the things that pan out, I'd say.
For sure. And so I guess kind of we're losing the light. So like,
Yeah.
what would you say? Anyone who's just kind of, they're still on the fence. They're thinking like, how do I get started? Should I hop in home service mastermind? Should I get the software? Like, what would you say to anyone? Just they start knocking doors. Where would you say someone should start and go from getting into starting making, you know, $10,000 bucks a month?
I'd say when you're just starting out, there's a big advantage to knowledge, knowing what not to do, what to do, what's going to give you just the highest return on your effort. But at the same time, you got to take action. You know, you can't just sit around and be like, you know, analysis paralysis. So joining a group with other guys, that definitely helped me. And my first step was actually reading Spencer's book, the Roof and Gutter Blueprint.
The blueprint
Business
one.
Blueprint.
Yeah.
And that's what really got me to see, like, okay, here's how you do it. Here's all the stuff that goes into the business. And that helped me take the first steps. And then I'd say beyond that point, joining a group with other guys who are like doing this and like showing, you know, their $10,000 months is just tremendous motivation.
Someone's like, damn, that guy's doing it. Like, I can easily match that, if not do better, or at least be doing something like that. So that's been my experience too. I'm in like still a couple other masterminds as well for like online and home service type stuff. But sweet, dude. Well, glad to have you on. Obviously, we're gonna see if we can get some work and maybe do some door knocking tomorrow.
Yeah,
we'll see if we get time to do that.
Let's pound some pavement.
But
Good mixing up with you, man.
Good having you on, bro.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for tuning in to the Spencer Clay Show. That's all for now. See you in the next episode. Peace.